How are you guys doing? It's good. I feel like there's a part of me that's an asshole. Right? And that part of me would be my asshole. All right. I was watching TV and there's this thing called Carvana. Have you guys ever heard of that? Carvana? It's like those guys fucking ripped off Nirvana. Sometimes people call me biracial, and I think that's wrong, right? I think I'm just as much one person of a race as anybody whose parents were the same phenotype, right? What a twist is what we used to call it. I don't know. You ever seen someone whose parents were of two different races that you've never seen reproduce with each other before, and you're just kind of surprised? Like, not in a racist way, just like, oh, I didn't know they made you guys too. That's awesome. I guess that makes sense, right? Like, I'll never forget the first time that I saw a Japanese Mexican. And he kind of looked like El Chapo. I was like, can I call you El Japo? He said no. I was like, well, what about El Japonés? That's what they call you anyways. I'm just abbreviating it, right? You're making this longer than it has to be. You're the one that's being mean to me right now. I got kind of mad, and I was scared that, like El Chapo, that he'd get really violent about it, right? Because I really hate violence, right? But I kind of like violins, right? Violins sucks, but violins sound kind of cool. Like, I've always been the kind of guy that says, make love, not war, right? I can't even think of an argument against that, right? But I mean, there is a palpable sort of, contrast in society. I guess the only way I can quantify that as an argument would be that love is cheesy, right? But I'm like in the camp where I think that violence is even more cheesy, right? I think that, don't get me wrong, I think fucking and fighting are equally pathological behaviors. But I think out of the two things, fucking is clearly the more fun out of the two. Right? I go as far as to say that there should be a video game called Street Fucker, where the two characters have sex, and the first one to come wins, right? It's like, round one, fuck, and then you lose, fuck! I've always thought of this country, the United States, as a nation of immigrants, so I kind of get offended when people are referred to as illegal aliens, right? But I also think it's kind of funny that an illegal alien sounds like an illegal alien, right? Like, what if you're having sex with someone who came here legally, right? What if you're banging an actual alien? Right? The way I see it is that you're either an illegal alien or you're in a legal alien, unless you're neither of those things, right? Me personally, I'm not either of those. It's great. Why do they call it Great Britain, right? Do they call it that there, too? I'm not saying that it's not, right? I'm speaking the language right now. I'm just saying that calling yourself great is a little unbecoming, as they'd say, right? Just be yourself, Britain. That other part's for everybody else to decide on their own. I've got to apologize for some of these jokes because, I mean, there is a standard of appropriateness to be held accountable to for the interest of having a romp that's for the whole family, right? Like, that's the reason that obscenity laws exist, and is to appeal to the whole family. But the truth of the matter is that when you think about it, families are started out in a really pornographic way, with really graphic, often depraved forms of sexual intercourse, right? Like, you got a really beautiful family there. How did you start your family? That conversation is not appropriate for the whole family. Let's talk about A$AP Rocky for a second. A$AP Rocky sucks so much ass. I didn't even know that it was possible for a person to suck on an ass at all. But if I could ask the guy one question, it would be, how does one suck on an ass? Because it seems like he's actually got it figured out. A$AP Rocky sucks so much ass that Sweden wants to keep him all for themselves. Right now, A$AP Rocky is in chains at the foot of the throne of the King of Sweden, making shitty raps. It's kind of a research project because Scandinavia wants in on the shitty rap game, as the kids would call it. All right, hey, I'm going to yield the mic to our next speaker, but I hope you guys will vote for me in this competition, and anything you guys want to vote for me, and I'll graciously accept your nomination.
Keep it going for Will Najera. Will Najera. Unfortunately, he did go overtime, judges. All right, please welcome